disease, Rick. Keep it up. Shanti was the calmest employee in Magnus Meat Processing, and Bob Torrance, the chain manager, loved him. He'd never seen another man like him. They called him the Ice Pick, or Ice Pick Rick, because of the total cool with which he manned the stun gun. Psychologically, it was one of the toughest jobs on the chain, the most damaging to the mind. For this reason, the position was rotated between 4 trained stunners on the workforce, each taking a week of stunning, followed by 3 weeks on other areas of the chain or elsewhere in the factory. No one could kill hour after hour, day after day, month after month without something coming permanently adrift in their head. A break was mandatory for the sake of sanity and, more crucially, to maintain high productivity. But if anyone could lay a captive bolt gun to the brow of a living creature from this day to retirement without a single day off, it was the Ice Pick, Richard Shanti. If anyone could look into the eyes of the soon-to-be bled, gutted, quartered and packed for the rest of his life without a hint of damage to the psyche, it was he. And look into their eyes he did. Everyone had seen him do it. For most stunners, it was the eyes that were the problem. Torrance understood why. He'd been a stunner himself in his youth. He knew it was the toughest job in the slaughterhouse. How could you watch the light go out of thousands of pairs of eyes and not be affected by it? How could you not wonder where that light went? How could you not wonder if there was something wrong in what you were doing? These questions laid up in a person's head. Each passing pair of eyes had their own character and texture. Each pair of eyes was unique. So what if Shanti didn't mix with the other workers? So what if he ran himself to the edge of collapse every night and morning? As long as he turned up on time and did the kind of quality work he always had, Torrance had no complaints. Every stunner needed a way of counteracting the job. If running helped Shanti cope, that suited Bob Torrance. He smiled to himself as he imagined Shanti sweating his way home of an evening. It couldn't have suited him better. Management had learned over the decades that stunners needed time out from the job they were trained for, otherwise they didn't last. Torrance had seen it a few times in his long career at MMP. He remembered one young employee in particular. Stunner Wheelie Patterson had been a jovial, fresh-faced boy when he started out. Pulled the front wheel of his pushbike high in the air on his way out of the yards every evening, thinking it was impressive and making everyone laugh. He was keen, sincere, and committed to his work. He told the chain manager at the time, a fool with no instincts called Eddie Valentine, that he could handle 2 weeks at a time on the stun. It was a mistake for Valentine to let him do it, but back then there had only been religious guidelines for workers to follow, nothing secular or practical. The kid had worked at the head of the chain like he was one of the machines. The conveyor would roll, the aluminium panel would open, bringing a restrained head into view. Wheelie would voice the blessing, God is supreme, the flesh is sacred, then whack the head with a sharp hiss and metallic clunk from the captive bolt gun. The panel would slide closed. He'd hit the proceed button, and the conveyor would roll again. The panel would open. Head. Eyes. God is supreme, the flesh is sacred. Hiss, clunk. The panel would close. The stun counter spun higher. Wheelie worked that way. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, for 6 months. Each night he rode home on the bike everyone had come to know as the unicycle, owing to his customary flourish in the forecourt. The other 2 weeks saw him on the bleed, or herding the cattle into the crowd pens and single-file chute with an electric prod. After a while, workers began to notice that Wheelie Patterson's smile had changed. He wore it like a mask that was too small and hurt his face. They noticed he wasn't as professional and committed as he had been when he first arrived. He deliberately aimed his prod, or hot shot, at the genitals of the cattle in the holding pens, sought to shock the sagging udders of the spent dairy cows. Torrance saw him corner a bull from time to time and torment it with repeated electrocutions. Bulls were the ones that fought back hardest. Wheelie lost his position as stun man the day they found him using the captive bolt gun on every part of a bull he could reach.